The loyalty cards, I guess everybody loves them. Please raise your hand if you use them, if you have them. And I don't know if you can recognize some of the companies in the Czech Republic. I mean, yeah, a lot of people did raise the hand that you are using the grocery stores, Tesco, stuff like that. So I was looking into some statistics, and I'm in those 3% of people that opt out completely, and I don't have, I don't have any of those cards. I mean, I have just one that I will be talking about. But anyway, they are really popular, or I would say nowadays you need to have them or you will pay more for groceries, food. The statistics from last year is that majority of people that are buying food in grocery stores do have the cards and do use them. And the majority of people shopping in the pharmacies or in some drugstores for beauty products use the cards. And what is surprising is that most of the people do see them as added value, and they like to use them and like to have them, which sounds completely crazy to me. I don't know if the statistics I did look up were fake or what. But anyway, they influence how we shop and which stores and with discounts we use. And if you don't like to use them, there is like really cool service called No Card.cz. It was like some Reddit user did launch this service a couple of months ago. And this service is really cool. I don't know if you know the story about it, but he basically created the website. He announced it on Reddit and asked people to send a screenshot of their cards. And I was watching the thread, and like people start submitting the photos and all the cards they have. And yeah, I don't know why, but I guess you can now use the card of some random people. They will get some points. You don't have to register. And I mean, it's really good. Look, the No Card.cz if you don't want to use your own cards. And what is really cool that all the cards have the incremental IDs, so you don't even need to use the service, or you don't need to use the cards provided by the community, because you can just generate your own cards based on the IDs. Basically, most of the cards are made by one single company, and this company is printing them and shipping them to all these different companies. So the IDs and the prefix, everything is kind of the same everywhere. But anyway, why I don't like to use the loyalty cards is because you need to sign up, you need to register, you need to submit all the PII, your email, phone number, address. Then you link the credit card. In most cases, you are forced to install mobile application. You need to allow the geolocation, you need to allow the notifications. And then they slowly start building your specific history and your profile. And yeah, they are trying to promote some items for you. And they can, there were some examples in the past that the store or the company knew about that the people might be pregnant. They bought some, I don't know, pregnancy test, and then they started seeing the advertisement for baby products. So these companies, they have like years of the history and all the data. They can see all the purchases that you made. And it's like long-term building of your profile. And then the algorithm, they understand, I don't know, how often, in which time are you going to show up, and they can force like the higher margin products. So you can often see that, hey, if you have loyalty cards, you have discount on this specific product, but there is like the highest margin on that stuff. So the store is making a lot of money if you go for those items. And yeah, the problem is if those profiles, data, and history of what you are buying is being leaked, because they are sensitive data, they can tell a lot about your lifestyle. And like what you can do is sign up for these cards or this program with like fake email or fake phone number. Or you can use the service that I showed you, or you can like be using the loyalty cards and be happy with your life. The choice is yours. But anyway, I was thinking if those grocery stores, pharmacies, those loyalty cards that are everywhere, if they are like kind of the critical infrastructure in the Czech Republic. And as you might know, there is the new law that is going to effect in November this year. And basically you can see all the different sectors that are now considered to be critical infrastructure. And yeah, you can see the healthcare is there, there is like the food industry. But I mean, it's more about like the Active Directory and about networks. You don't want to have like ransomware attack bringing down the whole hospital or the logistics of like the food and stuff, because everything needs to go smoothly. So this is the old screen. The healthcare is like the most critical stuff because yeah, people might die. But yeah, it's more about like the hospitals, about the patients, and for example, the manufacture process of the drugs itself. But nobody kind of cares, I think, about like the consumer, about the websites, application security, and most of those companies they don't have like in-house application security team. And they kind of don't know what to do. But anyway, the new law will be in effect. There will be some stronger oversight by NUKIP, and hopefully those sectors will be more regulated and will have to follow some harder rules. Because yeah, I mean, speaking about retail, food, and pharmacies, they can be pulled into the new law as the critical infra if they meet some criteria. I mean, I was reading a lot about this stuff, and it's still not clear to me kind of what's considered critical infra or not. But the things that I am talking about, like a lot of people are using them. And you are being forced to register for these cards and to install those mobile applications. And if someone is able to compromise some of those websites or services, it can impact like a lot of people in the Czech Republic. So yeah. Not sure if you see the logos clearly, but there is like a lot, and this is not all of the companies and websites where you need to have the card. There is like a lot of more than this, but these are like the most popular ones that were just submitted in that Reddit thread. Anyway, so one of that is the pharmacy, and that is the only card and the first card that I signed up and that I currently own. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and the whole hack took me like 1 hour. Not sure if that's a lot or I don't know how difficult it was, but I kind of want to show you how any one of you or like how anyone could do the same. I asked to not take any photograph because we are still in the process of fixing all these bugs and vulnerabilities, and may or might not be fixed. So I won't be telling you the name of the company or the name of the pharmacy. So help. I hope that you understand. So anyway, this is this is their website, and so. In April this year, I started on some prescription drugs, and it's like kind of expensive medication. And I will be on this medication for quite some time. So I started looking in those pharmacies and to check where is the best in-stock options and where is the best price. And this one company was like the best price that I could find. And they offer like up to 9% discount on prescription drugs that you have like signed from your doctor. But the only catch is that you have to sign up for that loyalty card, which kind of sucks. And I don't want to install any unnecessary application into my mobile phone because like why? They don't need my data from the phone. So I went to that pharmacy to sign up for the physical card. I went there, I stayed in the line for a couple of minutes, told the lady there that I want the physical card, and she gave me like the paper. I did like write down all the information, where I live and my phone number and whatnot. She didn't even like look at the paper or anything and just gave me one card. So I went home and I went on the website to sign up for the account. And on the sign up page, they ask you if you already have the card or if you want to create like the virtual card and install the mobile application. So I just selected that I already have the physical card. And the next step is they tell you to write down the card number and PIN to verify that you own this card. And then you enter the email, name, password, like sign up, create the account, you confirm that you own the email address, and then you can log in and start ordering the medication that you need. And when I am like browsing generally like the internet, I always look in the browser developer tools on the network to just learn about how this application works and if I can learn something new, or I don't know, just really useful to see what is happening on the websites that you are using. I'm using Firefox, and in the network, you see all the requests. You have the filter there, so you can filter for any path. And if you are using Burp Suite, the cool thing in the Firefox is that if you right-click the request, you can edit the request, you can change some stuff there, and then you can resend the request and repeat it with the new information. So anyway, I did all those steps, and I did put the filter for API because I'm always interested how the API looks like. And in the browser console, I could see just 4 requests to the API. So the first one was the cart PIN check. Then there was the check if my email is allowed to register on the website. Then there was the registration, and then the card was assigned to the account that I just created. So I was looking at those 4 requests, and I clicked on the last one to check that first. And this is the request, the last one that did happen. Not sure if you do a lot of API or web hacking, but to kind of explain what is going on there, you had the put request to some client ID. We are updating some missing PII. We are on that pharmacy server, and we are sending again the client ID, the email, and the password set during the registration. But when I see this request, what is interesting to me is that there are no cookies, there is no authorization header. Meaning that this is authenticated request because you don't have the account yet. You just created the account. You are not authenticated yet. And it's put request, which is telling me that we are putting or storing this JSON body somewhere to the database. So I was looking at that request and I was like, okay, so I could potentially overwrite this data, right? Because we are putting this data to the database. And I could potentially be able to overwrite the email address or the password of this client ID. And that would be really awesome in the real world. So in the Firefox still, I did edit that request. And I tried to change the email and the password, like hoping that I will either change both of them or just one of them, or that I will get the reply from the server that the password is incorrect. So I did submit this request with my email that I'm using kind of for testing. This was the Proton mail that I use for everything and the testing. I sent this request, and I did receive another email to confirm my address on that testing email. And yeah, as the attacker, I did receive the email. I did confirm that I want to sign up again for this loyalty card. And I was like, holy shit, this is account takeover. Because I was able to change the email to my attacker. So I tried to log in with the password that I set, but I did get that the password is incorrect. Meaning that I did send this put request for that client ID, and I was able to change the email of the user, not the password, but just the email. But then I did use like the forward password feature. I resetted the password and I did logged in as the victim, as the account that I created a while before that. So yeah, this is the whole thing. The whole hack took me one hour, and I spent like majority of that 1 hour in the pharmacy getting the physical card. It was actually the first API request that I saw that I tested, and it was account takeover, kind of game over for the company. And I was looking at this like I was in the browser, looking at those 4 requests, and I couldn't believe that this is happening. So this is the simplified version. You just send the put request without any authentication. You send it to the server with the client ID. And you need to know the email of the victim, and then some email of the attacker. And you just replace that victim email in the database, and you can log in as them. The only problem is that you need to know the user ID, right? That's the kind of thing that complicates this attack a lot, because without that user ID, you can't do anything. So I was still in Firefox looking at those 4 API requests. And since now I'm attacking the victim email, I saw that the second one had actually the email as the parameter. Because you remember during the registration, they check if this email is like allowed, if I can register with this email. So I did resend the request again, and the response from the server was, hey, this account already exists and this is their client ID. So it's like, holy shit, what is happening? Like, what the fuck is this pharmacy doing? Because I guess, I don't know, at the time, it took me like, I don't know, how much time do you need to resend 2 requests in the browser? But it was just a couple of minutes, and I had full account takeover. If I know the email of the victim, I can just change their email and log in as them. And then you see the whole history. You see all the medications that the people are buying. You see kind of which illness they have. You see a lot of juicy stuff there. So I created like the Python script just for the sake of the demo. Like the script is really easy. It's just the flow that I described. I first start with the email. I check if the account is registered, that I just change the email of the victim, and then I just request the password reset, and that's it. So I recorded a video. Not sure how good you will see that. But basically on the left, I just log in with ProtonMail to my personal account. There is the loyalty card that I just added to that account. And again, in the browser console, I'm showing just the response that, yeah, this is my ProtonMail. This is like my account. And on the right, I have the attacker. This is like the Gmail that I'm using for testing. So I just enter the email of the victim, I get their account ID, I enter the email of the attacker, I change the email of the victim, then the attacker will receive the email that they need to confirm or verify that the email is correct. I verify the email, and then I request the password reset, and I generate some random password that meets the criteria. And then the attacker will receive email to reset the password. So we just set the password that we generated, and we have account takeover. We took over the account of the victim. We still, we log in as the victim with the password we just generated, and that's it. You can see all the medical data, all the stuff there. I mean, I could automate the whole process in Python. There was some problem with bot protection from Cloudflare. So only the API to actually reset and set the new password was protected by Cloudflare. So that's the only step that I had to do manually. But you could bypass it. It's not that hard to automate the whole thing. This was just for the sake of proof of concept to show how the whole works. So anyway, on April 22, I signed up for the card. I created the account. And I immediately went to report the vulnerability to the pharmacy. But I couldn't find any security.ext, any security page. There was like no proper contact. So I did reach to the customer support, and I sent them the email that, hey, I just found this critical vulnerability, and I'm able to change the email of an registered user and log in as them. I sent the email and started working on that Python script and on that video that you just saw. And the next day, I did order on the medication that I needed, all the stuff, vitamins and some stuff as well. And I got a response immediately next day from the support asking me to submit all the data, everything that I have. So I just send them the exploit and the Python and the recording so they can check it. And the next day, I went to check the status of my order, when exactly it will be delivered, and my account was disabled. I couldn't log in anymore. So I was like, what the fuck is happening? Did they deleted my account? Am I banned from this pharmacy forever? So I didn't do anything that day, and the next day I did receive the email from support telling me that, hey, it's actually not possible to change the email online at all. The only way how to change the email is to call us, and you need to do security verification check with us. And I was like, holy shit, I did realize that on the website it's not possible to change the email. So yeah, that API endpoint is really nice because as the attacker, you can change the email of the victim, but the victim, they can't change the email back or do anything with that. So anyway, I was like banned from the service. I did receive the response that, yeah, it's not even possible to change the email, so don't bother us with this fake report. And then I did remember that during the recording and writing the Python script, I did use the barb suite, and I had the cookies stored. So I just went to my logs, copied the session from the cookies, refreshed the browser, and I was able to log in into my account. But turns out my account was hacked, I was compromised, and someone did set some random test Gmail. So I was like, what the fuck? Someone did compromise me. And I mean, I've been doing this for like 20 years, sending POCs and stuff, and it never happened to me that someone did actually use my own exploit on my account. And it was some random Gmail that I didn't know. So I started like Googling, like, what the fuck is this? And I think that it was like one vendor that I found on LinkedIn and GitHub. But they were not even working for the pharmacy, they were working for some other companies. So I did figure out that they are probably doing some software vendor stuff for the pharmacy. And I was thinking about what happened, and the guy that received the POC and the recording, and he was like following the video, following all the steps. He entered my email on the production, and he basically changed my email to his personal account and logged into my account. So hey, this is your medical data. This is like your illnesses and stuff. And yeah, probably don't have any staging or sandbox to try that. But anyway, I was like, okay, at least I will get some apology and I will get some sweet bug bounty from that. Or I can sue them for hacking my account, right? So I was waiting for a couple of days, and there was like no response. But I mean, what the heck? This is my personal account. I want my account back. And I tried to like exploit it again to change my email to the personal email address, but they already fixed the vulnerability. And yeah, this was like, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks later. I still like couldn't use my account. And I had the physical card linked to that account. So I started like debugging again the API endpoint, and there was like error response that I need to enter the card number and PIN as well. Originally, I think that this endpoint, the last step of the registration, was meant to be to assign that loyalty card to that account ID, but they didn't even like bother to add the card step there. Because if you remember the flow, you enter the card PIN and the card number card PIN. They verify that you own this card, and then you sign up and you assign this card number. But anyway, I know that the endpoint now has to have the card number, and I didn't have the card on me. It was like on my in my wallet in other room. So I just tried to, instead of like card PIN, I just sent the true. And I was able to change email back to my Proton Mail account and get my account back. But I mean, this is still at least in some way secure, but now you need to also know the card number of the victim to be able to attack them. And I was like, how many cards are there exactly? Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I was still in the Firefox, right? This is the vulnerable endpoint. This is the endpoint that tells you the account ID. And the first one was actually the card PIN check. So I just looked into the first one. And again, there is no authentication. It's just exposed to the internet. You enter the card number and you enter the card PIN. And you get a response that, hey, this is wrong PIN. But if you do the correct PIN, it will tell you, hey, this account exists and this is the account ID. So basically, you can crack the PIN for a couple of cards. You will know which card belongs to which user, and then you will spam the emails. You will get the user IDs, and you can link the cards to the emails. Or you will hit the card that doesn't belong to any user, because the cards are already printed, right? They already exist. So if you crack the PIN of the card that was not assigned to anyone yet, you can kind of claim that card, right? So imagine I'm going to the pharmacy, I will get the physical card, and in that 1 hour before I get home, you will just steal my card and link it to another account. And I was wondering, like, how hard it is to actually crack the PIN. So this is cool tool, Fuse Faster Fool. Not sure if you know that, but you just generate the sequence of the pins. There is like 10K of the possibilities. And for each pin, you will send it to the server. Then you have some successful response. And it takes like 40 seconds, depending on how many threads, but with default settings, less than 1 minute, and you have the card PIN. So I was wondering, like, how many cards are there exactly? Because, yeah, I never used any card before, never used the pharmacy before. So 1 month later, this no-card service was being launched. So I just download all the cards that were submitted by the Reddit users. It was like around 10 of them. I figured out that there is like the card prefix of the vendor, and there is some control check at the end. And just from the submitted cards, we are looking at around 7 million cards or loyalty cards in the distribution. And I was like, holy shit, 7 billion? Is that possible? So I started Googling about the pharmacy. And turns out that the loyalty program is like 10 years old, but not everyone was allowed to enroll in the program, and not many people were using it. But then in 2020, something weird happened, and there was the whole pandemic situation. And at the start of the pandemic, they did release the virtual cards that everyone has to install the mobile application. And then during the whole COVID situation, they basically more than doubled the number of users. And they reported like record profits. And now they claim that there is more than 5 million active loyalty number members or the cards being distributed. So I mean, this tells me that there is at least 7 million cards being printed, and this tells me that there is like more than 5 million active users. And they even have all the copies of the websites in different countries around Europe. And yeah, speaking about Czech Republic, like if you check only kind of adults, there is kind of just 5 or 6 million of adult people that meet the criteria for the card. And there is like between 5 or 7 million of the loyalty cards for this pharmacy, which basically means that almost every adult person in the Czech Republic has the loyalty card, or I don't know, someone from the family has them. And I was asking around, and kind of everyone told me that, yeah, we kind of use the cards, we use the pharmacy. And this is not even the worst vulnerability that I found. Because remember, this was only when I signed up for the account. It was only a couple of minutes looking at the API. But when I actually had the account and I logged into the website, there was like much crazier things to be seen. And it was that easy. But I like pretty much could download all the data from all the users without even knowing the user ID or the email or anything. So anyway, this was reported like 5 months ago. I got the response that, hey, thank you, awesome job. We fixed everything, and users will be happy. But anyway, I'm still waiting on the reply for like other vulnerabilities and other stuff that I found, and they kind of stopped communicating with me. I'm waiting now more than a month for the response, and I don't think that it will get any better than this. So what we can learn from this is that it's kind of easy to find nice and critical vulnerabilities just by looking at your browser. Because every browser nowadays has the dev tools, they are really powerful. And you can inspect everything, you can start learning how different websites work, what is the difference in the authentication, and it tells you a lot. And yeah, for the developers, please stop leaking the users' IDs and PII and everything. I mean, it's really cool for debugging if you are fixing something, but debugging should stay on like test or sandbox environment and not on the production. And yeah, if you are paying for some Cloudflare or some firewall, please set up the rate limiting, start monitoring your critical API endpoints, because it's really easy to both see and block those attempts. And put up the security.txt file, don't be scared. Every company now should have some security page, some contact. But what is important is that when someone is sending you the security or vulnerability report, please don't ignore them and reply to them. Because as I said, I'm still waiting, and yeah, no response so far. But anyway, that's the whole thing. Thank you very much for your attention. And
are there any questions?
probably not.
Thank you, Kamil.
Oh, thank you.